The 25 most famous sculptures in world history. Number 25. Mom Louise Bourgeois. Created in 1999 by Franco-American artist Louise Bourgeois, Mom is a towering sculpture of a giant spider, reaching 10 meters in height. Constructed from bronze, stainless steel, and marble, the spider holds a sack of eggs made of marble in its abdomen, combining elements of strength and fragility. The work is a tribute to Bourgeois' mother, who was a weaver, and represents motherhood, protection, and creativity. The spider is a recurring symbol in the artist's work, reflecting the complexity of family relationships and the emotions associated with them. Mom has been exhibited in museums and public spaces around the world, including the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao and the Tate Modern in London. The sculpture generates a powerful emotional reaction, confronting the viewer with feelings of fascination and fear. Bourgeois' work is fundamental in contemporary art for its deep exploration of personal and universal themes, using forms and materials that challenge conventions and evoke intense responses. Number 24. Cloudgate, The Bean. Anish Kapoor. Chicago, USA. Installed in Chicago's Millennium Park in 2006, Cloudgate, popularly known as The Bean, is a public sculpture by British Indian artist Anish Kapoor. The work consists of 168 polished stainless steel plates that create a seamless reflective surface, shaped like a seed or a drop of mercury. The sculpture measures 10 meters high, 20 meters long, and 13 meters wide, weighing 110 tons. Its mirror surface reflects Chicago's skyline and the sky, creating changing visual effects that interact with the environment and viewers. Visitors can walk around and beneath the sculpture, where the navel, a concave cavity, distorts reflections in intriguing ways. Cloudgate is celebrated for its ability to engage the public and transform urban space into an interactive artistic experience. The work has become an icon of Chicago, attracting millions of people and reflecting Kapoor's interest in perception, space, and the relationship between the artwork and the viewer. Number 23. The Angel of the North. Antony Gormley. Gateshead, England. The Angel of the North is a monumental steel sculpture created by British artist Antony Gormley, inaugurated in 1998 in Gateshead, northeastern England. The human figure with wings stands 20 meters tall with a wingspan of 54 meters, similar to that of a Boeing 747. The sculpture is located on a hill overlooking the A1 motorway and the railway line, being seen by over 90,000 people daily. The Angel of the North symbolizes the area's transition from its industrial past to a more creative and hopeful future. Constructed with 200 tons of Corten steel, the work is designed to withstand winds over 160 kilometers per hour and last at least 100 years. The wings are angled 3.5 degrees forward, giving a sense of welcome and protection. Although initially controversial, the Angel of the North has become a beloved and recognizable symbol, representing the connection between art, community, and landscape. Number 22. The Gates of Hell. Auguste Rodin. The Gates of Hell is a monumental work on which French sculptor Auguste Rodin worked for over 3 decades. Commissioned in 1880 for a museum that was never built, the work is inspired by Dante's Divine Comedy and reflects the torments and passions of the human soul. The gate, nearly 7 meters high, is adorned with over 200 figures in motion, some of which became independent sculptures, such as The Thinker and The Kiss. The figures represent scenes of love, despair, and damnation, capturing the emotional and psychological complexity of the characters. Rodin innovated in sculpting by leaving unfinished surfaces and textures that add dynamism and expressiveness to the work. The Gates of Hell is considered a masterpiece that revolutionized modern sculpture, influencing generations of artists. Several casts and versions of the work exist in museums worldwide, and it continues to be studied and admired for its artistic and philosophical depth. Number 21. The Motherland Calls. Volgograd, Russia. The Motherland Calls is a colossal statue located at Moai of Kurgan in Volgograd, formerly Stalingrad, Russia. Inaugurated in 1967, it commemorates the heroic defense of the city during the Battle of Stalingrad in World War II. The statue stands 85 meters tall, including a 33-meter sword, and depicts a woman advancing with determination, calling her children to defend the homeland. The figure symbolizes the courage and sacrifice of the Soviet people in the face of the German invasion. Designed by sculptor Yevgeny Vuchedich and engineer Nikolai Nikitin, the statue was the tallest in the world at the time. Its construction was a technical challenge, using concrete and steel to support its enormous weight and size. The memorial complex at Moai of Kurgan includes other sculptures and monuments, and it is a site of great historical and emotional significance for Russia. The Motherland Calls is a powerful reminder of the horrors of war and human resilience. Number 20. The Little Mermaid. Edvard Eriksson. Copenhagen, Denmark. The Little Mermaid is a bronze sculpture created by Danish sculptor Edvard Eriksson in 1913, based on the character from Hans Christian Andersen's eponymous tale. Located on the Langelini waterfront in Copenhagen, the statue measures 1.25 meters in height and has become an iconic symbol of the city in Denmark. The sculpture depicts a mermaid sitting on a rock, melancholically gazing towards the sea. The model for the work was Ellen Price, a dancer from the Royal Danish Ballet. Though she only posed for the head, the body was based on Eriksson's wife. The Little Mermaid has been the victim of vandalism on several occasions but has always been restored, reflecting its cultural and emotional importance to the Danish people. The statue attracts millions of tourists annually and remains an emblem of Denmark's rich literary and artistic tradition. The work captures the essence of Andersen's tale, conveying feelings of longing, love, and sacrifice, and continues to be a beloved figure in the collective imagination. Number 19. Nike of Pyos. Archaeological Museum of Olympia, Greece. The Nike of Pyos is a marble sculpture representing the Greek goddess of victory, Nike. Created around 420 BC by sculptor Pyos of Mendi, this classical masterpiece is located in the Archaeological Museum of Olympia, Greece. The sculpture was dedicated to Zeus by the Messenians and Naupactians as thanks for their victory over the Spartans in the Peloponnesian War. The figure shows Nike in mid-flight, descending towards the earth with her flowing garments suggesting movement and lightness. Originally, the sculpture measured about 3 meters in height and was placed on an 8-meter triangular base, giving it an imposing presence in the sanctuary of Olympia. Its dynamic posture and the detailed work in the drapery of the dress exemplify the technical mastery and aesthetic sense of Greek art of the time. The Nike of Pyos is significant for its innovative representation of the figure in motion and for expressing emotions through form and gesture. The sculpture captures a fleeting moment, conveying the sense of the goddess gently landing, marking an advance in the exploration of movement in Greek sculpture. The work is a valuable source of study on the artistic practices and religious beliefs of ancient Greece. Its beauty and elegance continue to inspire admiration and reflect the classical ideal of harmony between form and content. Number 18. Moses. Michelangelo. Rome, Italy. Michelangelo's Moses is one of the most prominent sculptures of the Italian Renaissance. Created between 1513 and 1515, The work is part of the tomb project of Pope Julius II and is located in the Basilica of San Pietro in Vincoli in Rome. The sculpture, carved from Carrara marble, depicts the biblical prophet Moses seated with the tablets of the law under his right arm. Michelangelo captures Moses's intensity and strength through his facial expression and powerful posture. The anatomical details, such as tense muscles and prominent veins, demonstrate the artist's mastery in representing the human body. A notable feature is the horns on Moses's head, resulting from a mistranslation of the Hebrew word keren, which can mean horns or rays of light. The work is famous for its realism and for the contained emotion it conveys. According to legend, Michelangelo struck the statue's knee and exclaimed, "Why don't you speak?" impressed by the vitality he had managed to infuse into the marble. Moses is an exceptional example of how art can combine technical and expressive aspects to create a work that transcends time. The sculpture has influenced numerous artists and continues to be a subject of study and admiration, reflecting Michelangelo's genius and his contribution to art and Western culture. Number 17. Bronze David. Donatello. Donatello's Bronze David, created around 1440, is one of the most important sculptures of the early Renaissance. This work, located in the Bargello National Museum in Florence, Italy, is notable for being the first full-body nude sculpture since classical antiquity and for its innovation in representing the human body. The sculpture depicts the young David, the biblical hero who defeated the giant Goliath. David stands on the severed head of Goliath, holding the enemy's sword. His relaxed and contrapposto posture, with a slight hip tilt, adds naturalism and elegance to the figure. The use of bronze and attention to detail in facial features and hair texture demonstrate Donatello's technical skill. Bronze David is significant for its combination of classical elements and new approaches in art. The representation of the male nude celebrates the beauty of the human body and reflects the rediscovery of classical aesthetic ideals. Additionally, the work explores themes of youth, virtue, and victory over adversity. This sculpture marked a milestone in art history, influencing later artists such as Michelangelo. Donatello's David remains a fundamental piece for understanding the development of the Renaissance and the evolution of Western sculpture. Number 16. The Dying Gul. Capitoline Museums, Rome. The Dying Gul is a celebrated Hellenistic sculpture depicting a wounded Gallic warrior in his final moments of life. Created in the 3rd century BC, the work is a Roman marble copy of a Greek bronze original and is exhibited in the Capitoline Museums in Rome. The sculpture was commissioned to commemorate the victory of Attalus I of Pergamon over the Gauls in Asia Minor. The figure shows the warrior seated on the ground, supporting himself with one hand while the other rests on his leg. His expression of pain and resignation, along with the realistic details of his wound and tense musculature, convey profound humanity and nobility. Distinctive features such as the mustache and torque necklace identify the warrior as a Gaul. The Dying Gul is praised for its ability to evoke empathy and for its innovative representation of the enemy with dignity and respect. The work is a distinguished example of Hellenistic art, which sought to express emotions and capture dramatic moments. The sculpture has influenced European art for centuries, serving as inspiration for artists of the Renaissance and Neoclassicism. Its study provides valuable insights into ancient sculpture and the representation of the human figure in moments of suffering and valor. Number 15. Discobolus. Myron. The Discobolus is a famous sculpture created by Greek artist Myron around 450 BC. The original bronze work has been lost, but its legacy endures through several Roman marble copies, the most famous of which is in the National Roman Museum in Italy. The sculpture depicts an athlete at the peak of throwing a discus, capturing a dynamic and harmonious pose. The discobolus is emblematic for its representation of movement and balance, reflecting the Greek ideals of beauty and proportion. The figure combines tension and fluidity, showing a deep knowledge of anatomy and the ability to freeze a moment in time. The work is significant in art history for its innovation in representing the body in action and for establishing aesthetic standards in classical sculpture. The discobolus has been studied and admired for centuries, influencing Renaissance art and the development of academicism in Europe. The sculpture continues to be a symbol of ancient Greece's athletic and artistic excellence, representing the pursuit of perfection in body and spirit. Number 14. The Kiss. Auguste Rodin. The Kiss is one of the most recognized works of French sculptor Auguste Rodin. Originally conceived as part of The Gates of Hell, the sculpture became an independent work due to its powerful depiction of love and passion. Created in 1882, the most famous marble version is exhibited at the Rodin Museum in Paris. The work depicts two lovers in an intimate and passionate embrace. The characters are Paolo and Francesca, figures from Dante's Divine Comedy, who fall in love and are condemned to the second circle of hell for their adultery. Rodin captures the moment of surrender and desire with a realism and sensitivity that convey universal emotions. The sculpture is notable for its detailed anatomical representation and the way the figures intertwine, creating a harmonious composition. The Kiss challenged conventions of its time for its bold exploration of sensuality and physical love. The work has had a lasting impact on art and popular culture, becoming an icon of romantic expression. Rodin's The Kiss continues to inspire viewers and artists, reflecting the power of art to communicate the deepest human feelings. Number 13. Mount Rushmore. South Dakota, USA. Mount Rushmore is a national monument located in the Black Hills of South Dakota, USA. Carved between 1927 and 1941 by sculptor Gutzon Borglum and his son Lincoln Borglum, the monument features the faces of 4 American presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Each face measures approximately 18 meters high and represents fundamental ideals in American history: the birth, growth, development, and preservation of the nation. The project involved more than 400 workers and combined sculpting and construction techniques on a large scale. Mount Rushmore is both an artistic and engineering feat and has become a national symbol and a major tourist attraction. However, the monument is also controversial because it is built on sacred land for the Lakota Sioux, raising debates about land ownership and the recognition of Native American rights. The monument continues to be an iconic place reflecting the complex aspects of American identity and history, inviting reflection on the legacy and values represented by these leaders. Number 12. The Ecstasy of St Teresa. Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Rome, Italy. The Ecstasy of St Teresa is a Baroque sculpture created by Gian Lorenzo Bernini between 1647 and 1652. Located in the Cornaro Chapel of the Church of Santa Maria della Vittoria in Rome, the work represents a mystical vision of Saint Teresa of Avila, a 16th-century Spanish nun and reformer. The sculpture shows Saint Teresa at a moment of spiritual ecstasy, with an angel holding a golden arrow symbolizing divine love. Bernini uses marble for the figures and gilded bronze for the rays of light emanating from behind, creating a dramatic and theatrical effect. The work is an outstanding example of Baroque art for its combination of sculpture, architecture, and light to emotionally engage the viewer. Bernini captures the intensity of Saint Teresa's spiritual experience, conveying deep emotions through facial expression and body position. The Ecstasy of St Teresa is widely considered one of Bernini's masterpieces in Western art. The sculpture has influenced the way the divine and the mystical are represented in art, highlighting sculpture's ability to express the ineffable. Number 11. Lakawan and His Sons. Vatican Museums, Vatican City. The sculptural group, Lakawan and His Sons, is a Hellenistic work depicting the Trojan priest Lakawan and his two sons being attacked by sea serpents. Discovered in 1506 in Rome and now located in the Vatican Museums, the sculpture is attributed to Rhodian artists Agesander, Polydorus, and Athenodorus of Rhodes, dating to the 1st century BC. The work captures a moment of intense struggle and despair, showing Lakawan and his sons entangled in the serpents sent by the gods as punishment for trying to warn the Trojans about the wooden horse left by the Greeks. The dynamic composition and facial expressions reflect the character's suffering and helplessness. Lakawan and His Sons is considered a pinnacle of ancient sculpture for its ability to convey emotions and for its technical mastery in representing movement and human anatomy. The sculpture has had a significant influence on Renaissance and Baroque art, inspiring artists such as Michelangelo. The work remains a subject of study and admiration, representing the aesthetic ideals and narrative complexities of Hellenistic art. Number 10. The Terracotta Army. Xi'an, China. The Terracotta Army is a remarkable collection of thousands of terracotta warriors and horses buried with China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, around 210 to 209 BC. Discovered in 1974 by local farmers near Xi'an, the site is part of the Emperor's Mausoleum and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Each figure is unique in terms of facial features, clothing, and weaponry, reflecting different military ranks and realistic details. There are estimated to be over 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots with 520 horses, and 150 cavalry horses. The figures were designed to protect the emperor in the afterlife and demonstrate his power and ability to command military forces. The Terracotta Army is significant for its scale, craftsmanship, and for providing valuable information about ancient China's art, culture, and military organization. The site continues to be the subject of archaeological excavations and studies, revealing new findings and conservation challenges. The impressive magnitude and detail of the figures make the Terracotta Army one of the 20th century's most important archaeological discoveries and a renowned tourist attraction. Number 9. Moai, Easter Island, Chile. The moai are enormous monolithic statues carved by the Rapa Nui people on the remote Easter Island between the 13th and 16th centuries. Approximately 900 moai have been identified, scattered across the island, primarily on ceremonial platforms called AHU. Carved from volcanic tuff from the Rano Raraku crater, the moai represent human faces with stylized features, including disproportionately large heads, prominent brows, and long noses. They are believed to symbolize important ancestors and played a role in rituals and beliefs about fertility and prosperity. The construction and transport of these massive statues, which can weigh up to 82 tons and measure over 10 meters tall, demonstrate remarkable technical and organizational skills. The methods used to move the moai remain a subject of research and fascination. The moai are a symbol of the rich culture and mystery of Easter Island. They have raised questions about the Rapa Nui society's ecological and social collapse, serving as a warning and a subject of study on sustainability and human impact on the environment. Number 8. Christ the Redeemer, Paul Lewandowski, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Christ the Redeemer is a monumental statue of Jesus of Nazareth with outstretched arms, located atop Corcovado Hill in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Inaugurated in 1931, The statue stands 30 meters tall, excluding its 8-meter pedestal, and has an arm span of 28 meters. Designed by Brazilian engineer Heitor da Silva Costa and created by French sculptor Paul Landowski, the statue is made of reinforced concrete and clad with thousands of soapstone tiles, giving it a smooth and weather-resistant appearance. Christ the Redeemer is a symbol of Christianity and a cultural icon of Brazil, representing the hospitality and warmth of the Brazilian people. The statue has become one of the new 7 wonders of the modern world and attracts millions of visitors who enjoy panoramic views of the city. The image of Christ the Redeemer is recognized worldwide and has played a role in cultural, religious, and sporting events, cementing its place as one of the world's most iconic monuments. Number 7. Statue of Liberty. Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, New York, USA. The Statue of Liberty, officially named Liberty Enlightening the World, is a monument located on Liberty Island in New York Harbor. Inaugurated in 1886, it was a gift from France to the United States to commemorate the friendship between the two nations and the centenary of American independence. Designed by French sculptor Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, with the internal structure created by Gustave Eiffel, the statue stands 46 meters tall and 93 meters including its pedestal. It depicts a woman embodying liberty, holding a torch in her right hand and a tablet with the date of the Declaration of Independence in her left. At her feet, broken chains symbolize the abolition of oppression. The Statue of Liberty is a universal symbol of freedom and democracy, and has welcomed millions of immigrants who came to the United States seeking a better life. The monument is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and continues to be a significant tourist and cultural attraction. The statue has been restored and maintained over the years, preserving its historical significance and its impact on national and international identity. Number 6. The Great Sphinx of Giza, Egypt. The Great Sphinx of Giza is a monumental sculpture located on the Giza Plateau, near the Great Pyramids in Egypt. With the body of a lion and the head of a human, the Sphinx measures 73 meters in length and 20 meters in height, making it one of the largest and oldest monolithic statues in the world. Carved directly from the limestone bedrock during the reign of Pharaoh Khafra around 2500 BC, the Sphinx is believed to represent the pharaoh himself and symbolizes power and wisdom. The sculpture has suffered erosion and damage over millennia but remains an iconic image of ancient civilization. The Great Sphinx has been a subject of fascination and study, generating multiple theories about its construction, purpose, and possible hidden chambers. Its mystery and majesty have inspired legends and influenced art and culture worldwide. The Sphinx continues to be an enduring symbol of human ingenuity and a testament to the cultural and architectural wealth of ancient Egypt. Number 5. Venus de Milo, Louvre Museum, Paris. The Venus de Milo is a celebrated Greek sculpture representing Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. Discovered in 1820 on the island of Milos in the Aegean Sea, the statue dates to around 130 to 100 BC and is attributed to sculptor Alexandros of Antioch. Carved from marble and standing 2.04 meters tall, the Venus de Milo is known for its elegance and for the absence of its arms, adding an air of mystery. The sculpture shows the goddess with a slight drapery falling over her hips, revealing the body's form with subtle sensuality. The work is an outstanding example of Hellenistic art, combining classical elements and a more dynamic and realistic expression. The Venus de Milo has influenced the perception of ideal beauty in Western art and continues to be one of the most visited and admired pieces at the Louvre Museum in Paris. The sculpture represents aesthetic perfection and has inspired countless artists, writers, and philosophers, cementing its place as a cultural icon of universal reach. Number 4. Winged Victory of Samothrace, Louvre Museum, Paris. The Winged Victory of Samothrace, also known as the Nike of Samothrace, is an impressive Hellenistic sculpture representing the Greek goddess of victory, Nike. Created around 190 BC, the statue was discovered in 1863 on the island of Samothrace and is exhibited at the Louvre Museum in Paris. The sculpture, made of marble, shows the winged goddess perched on the prow of a ship, with her garments billowing in the wind. It stands 5.57 meters tall, including the base, and is celebrated for its dynamism and realism. Although the head and arms are missing, the work conveys a powerful sense of movement and triumph. The Winged Victory of Samothrace is considered a masterpiece of Hellenistic art for its bold composition and its ability to evoke emotion and energy. The sculpture has influenced Western art and culture, serving as a symbol of victory and freedom. Located in a prominent position in the Louvre, the work continues to impress millions of visitors and is a lasting testament to the artistic genius of antiquity. Number 3. The Thinker. Auguste Rodin. The Thinker is one of the world's most recognized sculptures, created by French artist Auguste Rodin. Originally conceived as part of The Gates of Hell, the figure became an autonomous work around 1880. The sculpture depicts a man sitting in deep contemplation, with his chin resting on one hand and his elbow on his knee. The pose reflects concentration and questioning, symbolizing the creative process and the intellectual quest. The Thinker has been interpreted as a representation of Dante Alighieri, the poet of the Divine Comedy, or as a universal personification of philosophy and human reflection. Rodin captures the muscular tension and emotional intensity, demonstrating his ability to convey psychological complexity through physical form. Multiple bronze versions of The Thinker exist in museums and public spaces worldwide. The work has influenced modern art and continues to be a symbol of the human condition and the power of thought. Number 2. The Pietà. Michelangelo. St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican City. The Pietà is a marble sculpture created by Michelangelo Buonarroti between 1498 and 1499. Located in St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, it is the only work the artist signed. The sculpture represents the Virgin Mary holding the lifeless body of Jesus after the crucifixion. The work is notable for its beauty, balance, and detail. Michelangelo achieved harmony between the figures despite differences in scale and conveyed a profound emotion of serenity and compassion. The youthful face of Mary and the triangular composition add to the aesthetic perfection of the piece. The Pietà was sculpted when Michelangelo was in his early 20s and is considered one of his early masterpieces. The sculpture has been admired for its impeccable technique and its ability to express universal feelings of love and grief. The work has influenced generations of artists and remains a pinnacle in Western art history, reflecting Michelangelo's genius and his contribution to the Renaissance. Number 1. David. Michelangelo. Florence, Italy. Michelangelo's David is one of the most iconic sculptures of the Renaissance and one of the world's most famous works of art. Carved between 1501 and 1504, the 5.17-meter-tall marble statue represents the biblical hero David before his battle against Goliath. Originally commissioned for the Cathedral of Florence, the sculpture was placed in Piazza della Signoria as a symbol of the Republic's defense of civil liberties. The David shows a young man in the prime of life, with an expression of concentration and determination. The anatomical details and the contrapposto posture demonstrate Michelangelo's mastery in representing the human body. The work is significant for its representation of the human ideal and for capturing the moment before action, conveying tension and contained energy. The David reflects the humanist values of the Renaissance and the admiration for classical antiquity, Currently, the sculpture is located in the Galleria dell'Accademia in Florence, protected and displayed for millions of visitors. Michelangelo's David remains a symbol of artistic perfection and a testament to the creative genius that has influenced art and culture for over 5 centuries. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Give it a like, comment your thoughts, and share this video with your friends and family.